Hi guys, my name is Tom and I'm the Tech Chap, and welcome to my unboxing and first impressions of the HirePad W103 2-in-1 Windows 10 tablet and laptop. So I've opened up the box, and as you can see here, we've got the tablet on top. This is the tablet portion of it. It is a hybrid 2-in-1, so this is going to connect into the keyboard dock, which I presume will be under here. If it's not, we'll be in a bit of trouble, but let's keep opening up and see what we've got. And there we have it. That must be the keyboard. That's a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be. Okay, and as you can see, we've also got a little user manual, some packing lists, what comes in the box, the the micro USB charger, as well as a plug. So that's all very exciting, but we'll put that to one side and take a look at the tablet itself. So if we take the plastic off the tablet first, like so, there we are. That's actually, you know what, that's actually not too bad at all. I thought this would be a little bit sort of more bezel-licious, as they say, you know, a bit of a chunkier sort of tablet. I think that's quite smart. It's definitely quite a unique design. It's reasonably lightweight as well. As you can see, we've got a little Windows logo here. This is where we're going to connect it into the keyboard dock. We've also got a selection of ports on the side. We've got the 3.5mm jack. We've got a micro USB, a mini HDMI, or is that possibly micro HDMI, along with a full-size USB 2 on the tablet itself, which is quite cool. On the other side, we've got dual speakers. So that's pretty nifty. Let's put it to one side and open up the dock to go with it. So the keyboard attachment seems to be covered by this sort of fabric cover here, which looks quite smart. It feels quite nice to the touch. Let's open it up. I think this is secured by magnets. Yeah, so it's a bit similar to the iPad Smart cover. And if we open that, there we are. So this is actually attached. You can't take the keyboard off if you're not a fan of this, but I don't see any reason why you'd want to take it off. And also, I suppose if we do attach it, this back sort of cover here will also protect the tablet itself. So this could be a pretty cool little smart cover. So let's connect it up and see what happens. So that obviously must go here. It's quite a reassuring click. So I think that's in place, although obviously there's nothing holding it up. So that obviously the back cover protects the back of the tablet. But now obviously it's just going to go flat. So how do I make it so it stands up and stays up? You're probably watching this at home and shouting at me because I'm missing something completely obvious here, but I can't work out how to make that stay up. It's just going to fall back down. It appears to stay connected for a while, but this doesn't seem to fall. Oh, there we are. It's there we are. See, I was going to look at the manual, but you don't need manuals. Rubbish. So the back cover has a nifty little design, which you push round like so. A little bit of origami going on here, and that acts. Oh crap! No, that's not good. And that acts as a stand. Aha! We have a stand. Excellent. So I think we're going to have to use this more like a Surface Pro than something like an Asus T100. So it's basically the tablet with a keyboard accessory, rather than being sort of a laptop clamshell that you sort of undo and take the tablet out. So that's interesting. That's a very unique design. I've never seen anything like that. That's pretty unique. Awesome. So now we've got it standing up. I'm pretty impressed with that. We've got the keyboard here. Nice little chiclet style keys. It's quite well spaced. Trackpad, a couple of clicky buttons. Looks a little bit outdated perhaps, but you know what? This actually looks pretty smart. Obviously the proof is in the pudding, so let's get it turned on and see what it's like to use. So here we are, we've got Windows 10 up and running, and the first thing we need to do is, of course, take off the little film that's on the screen. So if I disconnect it like so, I say disconnect it, basically just pull it out from the keyboard dock, you can still see that Windows 10 is running here. It's fully working, looks pretty nice. Let's open Start, seems quite responsive. It's actually pretty cool, this. So this little thing here will help me peel off the screen protector, which I want to do. Do it like so. Perfect. Right, so here we are with the HirePad W103 up and running. So let's run through some of the specs. Basically, this is a 10.1 inch detachable hybrid. So this is a tablet, I think primarily, and also comes with the keyboard dock included. That's not sold separately, it's all together in one, as is this nifty, unique looking smart cover which props it up. The screen is high definition, but it is only 1280 by 800, which actually still gives it a reasonable pixel per inch density, about 149, which is actually a little higher than the old iPads, the old non-Retina iPads, which had 132. So it's reasonably sharp, especially for a budget tablet. Now Now this has also got an IPS panel, so the viewing angles should be fairly good. It's not at the best to test that in this little studio with the quite bright lighting I've got, and that looks pretty good. Let's open a page. You can see it is loading quite fast as well. So yeah, that looks really nice. I'm quite glad it's an IPS panel because TNs on budget laptops and tablets are usually pretty rubbish, so I'm pleased to see that. And this is of course full Windows 10. It's not that Windows RT rubbish that they used to have with Windows 8. This is the full Windows, which means you can install all your traditional programs and even some games on it if you want to. Now in terms of the hardware and the performance we can expect from this runs a quad-core Bay Trail processor. It's not the latest Cherry Trail unfortunately, but it's still pretty reasonable. It's sort of from 2014, that sort of technology. Along with that, we've got 2 GB of DDR3 RAM, and it's got 32 gigs of built-in storage. So as you can see, we've got about 20.4 GB of space free out of the 28 available, but we can expand that with a micro SD card. It does support micro SDs, which up to 64 GB of capacity, so that obviously we can improve that a little bit, but you're not going to get all your 4K movies on here. This is definitely sort of a travel device perhaps rather than a main sort of computer replacement. It's also got an 8,000 mAh battery inside, which means according to Hire at least we should expect up to 9 hours of battery life. That is something of course I will test in the full review. We've also got 2 cameras, both 2 megapixels, one on the front and one on the rear. So that's about it for the specs. So let's just have a quick play around with it, see how responsive everything seems. Let's go to YouTube and get one of my videos going. So let's bring up the virtual keyboard for now. YouTube, like so. Loading pretty fast. It looks quite nice. The screen's actually really nice. I quite like that. Let's jump to let's help my SEO a little bit. Get the keyboard back up. In fact, no. Let's use the actual keyboard. That's what it's here for. So let's plug that in like so, and then type in the tech chap. Fantastic. It works almost instantly. The trackpad isn't particularly nice. If I bring it up to the camera, it looks a little bit dated. It's sort of a bit rough. The texture is not very nice, and these buttons, you know, they're reasonable, they're clicky, but it's not the nicest thing. It does feel a little bit cheap, that. But does it really matter if the trackpad isn't the best? This is of course a touchscreen, so we can sort of use the keyboard when we need to, and then just use the much more responsive, much nicer touchscreen when we need to. So let's click on one of my videos. Let's go for the Nexus 5X review. This also gives us a chance to test the speakers. So we've got 2 speakers on the left side, so it's not really stereo like in the way you'd want it.
Nexus 5X from LG.
So everything looks pretty good. So let's talk about the package as a whole. If we sort of put this all back together, like so, this, you can see that all fits nicely together, very smart. Now the whole thing is 1.3 pounds, that's 0.58 kilograms, and in comparison, I know it's not a straight comparison, but the lightest Surface Pro 4 is actually 1.6 pounds, or 0.72 kilograms, so this is lighter than the Surface Pro, and the Pro that I've just compared it to didn't even have the keyboard, that adds even more weight, so actually this is reasonably light. It's also just under half an inch thick at 0.4 inches for the keyboard and the tablet, so not too bad there either. I think generally it's quite a little smart package. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do like and subscribe, and you can catch the full review of the HirePad W103 coming in the next few days.